Hi people, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adiwali and this is DISBYDEM. As you can tell, it's a different setup because I am not at home. Do all the right things. So let's just get into it. We're going to be talking about episode 6 of Exchange season 4. It is 4, right? I keep forgetting. If you hear snoring, it's because I'm in the same room as my hubby and my kids, and I don't know if I'm going to do 6 and 7 together or I'm going to do 6 and then do 7. It's taking me 3 days just to take notes with 6 because there's a ton of drinking, guys. Reason why everybody's passed out even earlier today is because nobody wanted to drink. I was the only one drinking because I was with a bunch of lightweights. I'm kidding. I've been drinking for years, guys. It's nothing new to me. Well, let's go into the episode because I know 6 was good, but 7 was better. So I'm pretty sure that that's the one you guys want or you're waiting for. But let's just keep it going. If it's your first time, Patreon has the reactions. I don't know. 7 is gonna be on Friday. I don't know when this is popping up, but 7 will be on the 31st. 6 is already on there, so be sure to check it out. So the episode does start off with Minkyung and Hyunji in the room chatting, and Hyunji is telling her that, you know, talking about her day with Yushik. Again, poor Minkyung. I really did feel for her in this moment. But Hyunji is basically saying that she wants to go on another date with Yushik just to see how things are. Minkyung is saying, when do we get to date multiple people? It will be better for you to choose somebody else and experience what it is like to date somebody else and figure out if that's more your type or anything. Is she wrong? No. But is she protecting her interest? Yes. Look, at this point, I like Minkyung. Well, I'm okay with Minkyung. I don't say I like her. I'm okay with her outside of her relationship with Yushik. Whenever it comes to Yushik, she is irrational and she just can't think straight. And that is a straight up problem. Point blank period, guys. Point blank period. She has a problem when it comes to Yushik. She just doesn't know how to, regulate herself. Both of them have a problem when it comes to each other. But again, if we're evicting people off the island, I am saving Yushik. I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'm pretty sure I will keep saying this till the end. Well, maybe never say never. So, what Minkyung is definitely saying is correct. Definitely date. You never get this opportunity. So date everybody and figure out who it is that you like. She's not wrong. But does she have stake? Does she have claim in what she's saying? Also, yes. Anywho, I just found it very funny. I was laughing my head off when I was watching that. Minkyung goes on to ask Woojin out. See, I will give props where props is due. Minkyung, we know who she wants in the end, but she is definitely doing the process right. She is dating these men one after the other. Even in episode 7, she's doing the process right. I have to give her props for that. But is she wasting their time? Yes, that's why I get pissed off, because we all know where her heart is. We know where she wants to be, and she just has to get off her high horse long enough to tell the boy that this is where she wants to be, but it is what it is. She asks Woojin out and he says yes. He actually said that he was going to come ask her out today if they could go on a date. Hyunjin then proceeds to still ask Yushik out as well. It took him a while, but he eventually said yes. I don't know, this man in this episode taking a while to answer the would you like to go on a date question. I was like, are they speaking French? It's the same language you guys are speaking. They're not transliterating for you. It's not a hard question. Yes or no, simple. Minkyung and Woojin's date was super cute. It was this artistic paint pouring, more like paint shooting at those teddy bears that you do. It was cute. She is very good on dates, guys. She's very appealing. She knows how to appeal to the opposite sex, so it's not a new thing for her when she's on dates. She has been stellar on every single date that she has gone for, and everybody has said something or things positive about her on dates. I will say though, this has been like the most natural date, and I don't know if it's just because of time or how long they've been in the house. This has been the most natural date that she has had in the house, and I can see it for them if anything were to progress for them in the house. This has definitely been the most natural date for her. Baekhyun and Yoon then have like a dessert date at home. We do see later, they show them a little bit here and then they show us later on. I'm just going to put it all in one. We see later on in the episode when they're together, she asks him out on a date and she had to ask him like 3 times. he does eventually say yes, but I get that he was distracted because his ex was, you know, hanging around and just left, and he thought that his ex was going on a date with Yushik. I get that he was distracted, but still, it's like, you know, this girl likes, like, it just took him way too long to answer the question of, do you want to go on a date with me? And that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. Baekhyun rubs me the wrong way, guys. Because I was almost bamboozled by him. I'm sorry. I should just stick to my instinct. If my instincts say run, red flag, I'm going to stick with that. And if I'm wrong by the end of the season, I will apologize. But I'm never, I refuse to go against my instincts. This has happened twice now. It happened with Lee Chun, and now it's happening again with Baekhyun. So I'm gonna stick with my instinct no matter what. Hyunji and Yushik, we see their dates, and it was a very confusing date all in all. It started out semi-okay. They were laughing, they were talking, they were chatting, and then it just ended up being very confusing by the end, right up to the text messages at the end of the episode. They're talking, and then Yushik brings up Baekhyun, and he says that his ex is Baekhyun's type. She then, no, sorry, the alcohol, it's been a lot. He says Baekhyun is his ex's type. She then says she thinks she knows who his ex is, because she assumes that because Baekhyun and Yoon have been hanging out a lot, I'm pretty sure she just assumed that Yoon is Yushik's ex. And I was like, oof, that's not gonna fly well. But he kind of then loses track of the entire conversation, because eventually he gave her this scenario of, you know, who do you prefer? Someone who's been in a long-term relationship, one long-term relationship, or somebody who's been in multiple relationships? And she chose multiple. So I think he got stuck on that, like, oof, I'm not really a contender. So he started giving scenarios of that scenario. What about 9 years or 10 years? What about this? What about that? What about multiple small option? Really, like, he just got stuck on that question. And so even when she asked him a question about emotional or realistic or something, he wasn't focused. He went back to his long-term relationship question, and it just kind of soured the entire, because it didn't look like he was paying attention. He wasn't present anymore, and I think he had just lost the plot as soon as they started talking about Min-kyung and that relationship question. We then find out back in the house that Baekhyun has been texting Yoon the entire time. So the entire past 3 days or 4 days or whatever it was, every single text, or one of every single text that she had received, were from him. I thought that was interesting. We see that Wongyu and the Glory go on their dates, and he says that he plans to drink more today. He seems to be a little more expressive. You know, I think he's just like deciding that he's just going to let loose and let the process do what it has to be. I think he just decided that he was just going to immerse himself and just let loose. Or maybe he has just reached the point where he's very comfortable with everybody and he can relax a little more now. He does take the initiative to invite her to the garden later on tonight, so it looks like he actually really does like her, which confuses me to no end, because in the date with Min-kyung, in the one-on-one, didn't he say that he had more feelings for Min-kyung than he does for the Glory? I'm so confused, guys. I'm so confused. And I know I don't have pictures, guys. So the Glory is Jiyeon, the short Jiyeon, right? Because there's Jiyeon and Jihyun. She's tagged the Glory. I don't know if somebody, for some reason, is just clicking into this episode out of all the series for the first time, but that is your explanation, just in case you are looking for one. And there's this whole whisper clandestine planning date thing that she does. I thought that was very cute. She whispered to him that maybe they should get together later, you know, and the host are like, why is she whispering? In a restaurant, there's no need to whisper. And I was like, it makes it more sultry, it makes it more sexy. Let the girl live, let her be. I loved it. I like her. I really do. I really like this girl, and I just don't want her to be heartbroken by the end of this series, because that would break my own heart. But I like her. She has stood on business. Even when it looked like she was wavering in episode 7, she was still standing on business, and I can respect it. They do go to her one-on-one, and she just says that she likes it. She's just very happy whenever she talks about Wongyu. Every time that she brings up his name, she's smiling ear to ear, and we just can tell that she really, really likes him. And it is what it is, man. I love it for her, and I hope that it works out for her. Back at home, the house finds out that Baekhyun made chocolate cheesecake while he was at home, and Hyunji, this seems to just set Hyunji off for some reason, because she knew that he was at home with Yoon. When she left the house, they were the last two in the house, so obviously they'd had like this mini date, and she just here. See, I don't think I've even gone into. I've not analyzed Hyunji, and I think I'm waiting for like the major break to do that. But I still don't understand what this girl is looking for. To be honest, does she want to get back with Baekhyun, or does she want to move on? I think she wants to get back with him. From that very first one-on-one date that they had before they came into the house, I think that when she saw him, she was like, "Papa, I want you back, boy. I want you back." And if that's the case, she should take him, because I don't want him for any other girl in this house, especially not Young. I really don't. I don't. There's something about him that sets me off, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Honestly, there's something about him that's really triggering. Then they get a mail. They get new mail, and it's job reveal time. I actually thought it was going to be Hyunji's ex introduction letter, but that wasn't the case. It is job reveal, and so they go down the list. The Glory is a web designer. I thought that she was cute in her work getup. She just looked absolutely amazing. Wongyu is an Oriental medical doctor. Now, when they said Oriental medical doctor, I was thinking Oriental Chinese doctor, because we just saw that Dodo is an Oriental Chinese doctor in training or whatever, and that's realistic. But this one looks like he's just a chiropractor. Is chiropractor or Oriental medical doctor? Can somebody tell me, please? Because I was so confused. I said, why didn't he just say chiropractor? Because I feel like that's what it was, wasn't it? I don't know, guys. You let me know. And Jihyun is an acting teacher. She used to be an actress, and then now she's teaching acting in high school. I thought that was absolutely adorbs. So cool. Yushik is a dancer, which we knew, contemporary dancer, but also a dance teacher. I loved it for him. Yoon works at a fashion brand, and that's why she's always so stylish. She had some very unique items for clothing, and I thought that that was on brand for her. Baekhyun is an actor, which is why he sheds his skin like a snake every single frame that we see him. Kind of apt. Nothing against actors, but kind of apt. I feel like he's in training in this whole thing. This is his training ground, and he's fine-tuning his skills. Min Kyung is a grad student, and also she says she's a grad student / instructor, but she doesn't want to reveal that her major or her specialty is dance, because she thinks that it will reveal her ex. And personally, I don't know if it would have. Yes, maybe if you really sat down with it and you put 2 and 2 together, it will definitely tell you this is her ex. You know, it is what it is. But I think the fact that she made it into a thing makes it into a thing. However, there was nothing wrong with what she did. I'm not just targeting her to target her, guys. There was nothing wrong with what she did. But I just personally feel like she could have said that she's a dance instructor, because I mean, actor and acting teacher, people could put that together and think those two are exes, right? But they aren't. So you know what I mean, right? But it is what it is. Woojin owns his own Spanish restaurant. So impressed by that. And then Hyunji is a flight attendant. Everybody seemed to get that. They seem to guess it right, because you know they always guess their professions. I didn't guess that. I wasn't even thinking that she was a flight. Well, you know, I wasn't looking for their careers, if I'm being honest. These shows, I just let them tell me. I can't be bothered to guess anymore, because every time it's egg on my face, and it's not like I like raw egg to begin with. And then we see that they are doing the flutter text for day 4. Guys, I'm speeding through this now because the alcohol is eating and it's time for me to go to bed. Oh my days. Flutter text messages for day 4. We have Wongyu gets 1. It's from the Glory. The Glory gets 1. It's from Wongyu. Baekhyun gets 1 from Yoon. Yoon gets 1 from Baekhyun. Yushi gets 2. And the first one was something about don't fall sick or something, and I thought instantly, God, just to tell you how much I want to villainize this poor girl. And it's not even intentional. I just assumed, and I apologized even in my reaction, but I thought that it was from Min Kyung berating him again with the text messages. But it turns out that it was from Jihyun. She'd heard that he was staying up and he fell he fell sick. So she sent the text just saying, you know, don't get sick, just take care of yourself, basically all that jazz. And the second one was from Hyunji. Then we see that Jihyun didn't get anything. I felt really bad for her, because you all know that she's my baby. Then Hyunji gets 1, and it's from Yushik. So but the text was, honestly, he should not have texted her at all. At this point in time, don't even send the text. Trash your text. Tell them to send it into the ether, because what he wrote was, great work today. Oh, it was kind of like, it was one of the worst texts that we've seen. We've seen some horrid texts on Exchange, but this one was kind of one of the worst ones. And they showed Min Kyung, who got 1 from Woojin, and it was simultaneously the best text that I have seen, one of the best texts. It was just emojis, but it summarized their dates so well, so very well. He did so good. I was so impressed. I've seen those before, but I just like the application in this context. It's beautiful. We've seen, I think Yu Jong got an emoji, maybe it was her, maybe it wasn't, I don't remember, but in season 3 somebody got an emoji text as well, but this one was beautiful. Big ups to Woojin for that. He was very creative with that. And then Woojin gets one, and it's from Min Kyung. Wongyu and the Glory have their like clandestine rendezvous on the rooftop terrace, and he is super talkative. You can just tell that he's either full on drunk or he's tipsy, right? So loose tongue. He's been drinking all day and he's just so relaxed right now. Baekhyun, Hyunji, Yushik, Yoonyoung, Min Kyung are gathered in that small living room downstairs, and they're chatting and just playing and eating and everything. And I was like, oh, Min Kyung, you don't want to sleep today? You want to stay up with your mans that's not your mans but is your mans? I'm so petty when it comes to her, because I just need her to confess and say what it is that she's looking for. Just come out and say it. It's not that deep, you know. You're gonna be all right. The Glory and Wongyu join them in the living room eventually. Then they talk about a lot of stuff relationship wise, but they're talking about types. What are your types? And they asked Wongyu, and he literally described the Glory to a T. Oh, my heart was swelling for her. I was loving it for her. I just loved it. And I don't think that, because now we actually know who his ex is, I don't think that he knew that his type could evolve to that, because she is completely different from what his ex is like. Completely, if I'm being honest. Because he was one who says he likes tall girls, she's short. Now he likes girls with big eyes, fair skin and big noses. Like, he was just describing loose tongue. They should just plow him with alcohol all the time, because he was just being forthcoming. I liked it for her. At least she got to know what he was actually thinking, true, right? Jihyun eventually joins them, and real quick her emotions just take over. Like, they just boil over, and she starts crying and has to leave and goes to her room to cry for a bit. I did think that maybe it was the no text thing that was really affecting her, because in a one-on-one she'd been saying that she actually does like Yushik, and the fact that she didn't spend any time with him was what led to no text messages, and that kind of got to her. So I really did feel bad for her, you know. And you know, Jihyun is my baby, guys. I really do like her, so her crying was really breaking my heart. Hyunji goes to check up on her, but she needed a minute, so she was coming down the stairs, and she and Baekhyun had this supercharged moment on the staircase, man. I swear down, if they were alone, they probably would have kissed each other. It was that intense. Like, you could just feel like the sexual tension on that staircase, and it was like that's the best way I can describe it, to be honest. That's the best way. I don't know what's going on with these two, but I think they're even more messed up than Yushik and Minkyu. Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know. I will stand corrected, but let me know in the comments. Then Hyunji goes back, because I think Yushik comes towards the staircase, so obviously they chat, all three of them chat for their messed up triangles chats for a while, and then she goes back up to check up on Jihyun, and they both cry together. Then Hyunji returns back to the group downstairs. I don't know where Jihyun actually went to. Hyunji returns back to the group, and they're all talking, and somehow they start talking about the ex introduction letter, because Haz hasn't come yet. So I think it was Yushik that said something about, oh, that when Haz come, maybe they can all reread their own again. And Baekhyun proceeds to say he threw his own away. I was like, throw the boy away with the letter. Just throw him away. Shove him in the ocean. Come, shove him in the ocean. Because why? I mean, he does eventually confess that he's just joking, he's lying, that he obviously kept it. But like, why? She was sitting right beside him. Why would he say that, if not to just intentionally hurt her? Why? You're trying to pretend that you've moved on. You're this big man on campus. You know, you don't care about your ex so much, so you have to hurt her. There are ways to show that. There are ways to show that you have moved on from a person without intentionally maliciously hurting them. And what he did, he should be whipped for it. Tie him to the pole, give him 10 lashes. My God. No, it was just uncalled for. It was unnecessary. He didn't have to do her dirty like that. So obviously she hears this. He's like, oh my God. He obviously insanely regrets it. He starts getting flushed. doesn't know what to do with himself, goes upstairs and he's just doing his thing. She's just, you know, ball of tension, ball of energy, doesn't know what to do with herself. So eventually she gets upstairs, goes into her room, goes into that corner by the bathroom that is dark and there are no like limited cameras, and starts crying. And I really felt bad for her. Yes, I don't know what her intentions are. I think I do, but she hasn't really stated what her intentions are clearly. But still, nobody should be made to feel that way. And I hope that he secretly apologized to her, because that was uncalled for. Ex or not, whether you guys are on good terms or not, that was uncalled for. And I hope that he apologized to her, because he was being a straight up dick, guys. Straight up dick for that. Baekhyun sets me off. I don't know, there's just something off about him, and I don't want him for anybody, especially not Yoon. If Hyunji wants to take him back, please let them go, let them sort it out for themselves. But I just don't want him for Yoon. I just don't think that Yoon deserves that. She definitely deserves better. She does something that will not emotionally manipulate her, and I think he will. I think he is an emotionally manipulative person. Saying that when you're tipsy, it's not easy, guys. It's not easy at all. But that was episode 6. Yeah, I think I'll post this one because it took me 3 days to take these notes, guys. Every night it's been late. I'm not gonna lie, it's been late. It's been hard to do this, but I really did want to put it down while my emotions were so raw from watching the show. If I don't end up doing episode 7 this week, I think maybe I will edit the video, the reaction down, and post that instead, because I was screaming, talking, and reacting throughout the whole thing. So maybe that will be a better option for episode 7, but we'll see. I really don't know how it's going to shake out right now. I should be back home in a few days, even though I'm still off, just, you know, decompressing from 2025. No, I'm gonna lie. We'll see how everything shakes out. But yeah, go ahead, do all the right things. We should remember to check Patreon, because obviously the videos are there. But yeah, and also hit your subscribe button and hype the videos, guys. Hype me for the week. Come on, please, hype your girl. I'm here on vacation still doing this, so feel free to send me those hypes if you don't mind. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.